This episode of the Horror Basement is brought to you by the Horror Amino app. Come join us in a large community dedicated to horror fans across the world. Available in iTunes and Google Play.
Hi, I'm Bill Mosley, and you're in the Horror Basement with Jim Jam and Johnny Leroy. Lick my plate, you dog dick.
Welcome to the Horror Basement, the Tennessee Horror News Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Johnny Leroy. As always, we got Jim Jam here with us.
Jim Jam here, guys.
Hey, don't forget to check us out on SoundCloud and Google Play and
iTunes.
Yeah, and YouTube. And
hit that Patreon.
Yep, Patreon, Horror Amino, Facebook, and all that stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Just, also, we are talking to Seth Sherwood today, the writer of the new film that's coming out this year, 2017, Leatherface.
Prequel.
Yeah.
15 years of Leatherface.
Yeah.
So,
see how someone goes about writing that.
So away
we go. Alright, guys, and on today's podcast, we have Seth Sherwood, writer of the 2017 Leatherface. Seth, how are you doing today?
I am well. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Doing good. So, how was you chosen to write this screenplay, if I may ask?
Well, I pitched on it, which I think, I'm not sure how many writers they went out to, probably like a handful, which is what studios usually do. And I knew I was going in, and I had an idea, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, you know what? I think this is probably, there's a very easy version of that movie. And it's the version everybody assumes that, hates me on the internet, assumes it is. And, and that was the first idea I had. And I stopped and I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? This is what everybody's going to pitch. So I'm going to go take a left turn and do something different. And, if they don't like it, that's fine. I don't know if I really want to do, a tired 8th installment of, a horror franchise and just do it by numbers. And so I just, just for the hell of it, just pitched something totally different and off base, and luckily they were like, great, we don't want to make the expected either. So I ended up getting the job just because I was the only one that did something sort of unexpected with their idea.
Can you talk about where this was filmed at?
It was filmed in Bulgaria.
Is that from...
Which is not Texas.
No, that's definitely not Texas.
What was it, just because it's cheaper? Or?
Yes, Millennium, the studio who filmed it, put it together, produced it, they have a production facility out there, and all the department heads are done here. But every time they got a movie, they add a little bit to the bottom line to sort of build up this studio and backlot that they've crafted out there, and it's reached the point to where it's a full on big studio, and all the below the line talent and workers are all local there in Sofia, I think it is, and so it's just a whole pipeline from start to finish where they can shoot everything, and the landscape there is pretty diverse. They can kind of approximate for a lot of things, so long as it's summer and not winter.
Yeah.
And I guess it says something that it's cheaper to fly a bunch of people in a bunch of old American cars to Bulgaria than it is just to go down to Texas.
Oh damn! So they flew the cars over there too?
Yeah, because it's
Wow.
it's Texas 1960 something.
Yeah,
so
that's what I was about to say. It had to be 60s.
I was just sitting there thinking, maybe since it's a studio, they might have a fleet of cars, but I guess you'd have to really specifically.
Well, they do now.
Yeah, they do now. They're not flying them back.
Do.
Yeah,
for every movie they make, they add a little something, and then that
cool.
gets added to that studio. So they have a little bit there.
That's awesome, actually, because that's when he mentioned that to me. I was like, damn, really, Bulgaria?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like,
it had to be cheaper. Yeah, do they have a desert
I guess it
area?
ain't really a desert.
Dryish dirt area?
I think it's, they kind of went for like that sort of like that scrub, like open field, like wild, like type look. And that's what I wrote to. I've been to Texas a couple times, not a lot, but I kind of looked more to the actual movies than anything else to sort of, describe the landscapes that I was picturing.
Well, that'd be the best thing to do, because that's where, you see it all start at. And now...
But, I mean, couldn't he, though, have moved? The family could have moved to that area to get away. Like the whole privacy.
How many people can go missing before they gotta move?
Yeah, exactly, how can we get away with this? We better live out in the middle of fucking nowhere. I don't know.
So,
ideas pop up.
Is it not in the credits, or is they just who's playing Leatherface?
It's it's a little bit. That's kind of there's a bit of a mystery. You kind of don't know. It's about a group. It's about a group of kids who've sort of busted free of a mental institution. And in the very beginning, you see a young Leatherface, and you see that Stephen Dorff's character is sort of this corrupt ranger who takes him away from the family for a reason. And so part of my thing was that when I started to do this, I went back and I looked. I read every old interview I could with Tobe Hooper and Gunnar Hansen, and they both kind of said the same thing, and that's that Leatherface sort of has no identity. What he is sort of based on his mask or what his family is telling him what to do. So for me, I thought like it's the easy version. That easy pitch would have been he's just born simpleton who's deformed, and he's like that, and his family are cannibal weirdos that kill animals and people and go. And like I thought it'd be more interesting to say, okay, sure, the family's kind of messed up and weird, but maybe it was his, he might be a little inbred, but at the same time, he's not completely, Nubbins and Drayton, they weren't, totally mutants. They were messed up and weird, but they were still, they could still function in society more or less.
Yeah.
So my idea was like, how do you get from there to where we know Leatherface ends up? So for me, the story is kind of about this identity situation, like what has to happen to you that you sort of lose who you are. So the starting point for that is he's taken away from the family and he's bounced around through the foster system, and his name keeps getting changed. And it didn't make the cut of the movie, but there was one family that wanted a little girl, so they put him in a dress because there's a little bit of a every now and then you see Leatherface wearing a dress, so that was kind of in there.
Sweet.
So the idea is now
it makes sense.
Yeah. So when we catch up with them,
go ahead.
they I was like, when we catch up with them and these kids are breaking out, they all have names and we think we know who they are, but Leatherface doesn't quite know who he is. So the journey in this is sort of him reconnecting with his family and finding out who he is and what he goes through that sort of reduces him down to nothing.
Well, that version sounds way better than the retard version. I mean, honestly, it does to me.
So when you go into the first part of the film, you don't know who Leatherface is at the moment, right?
No, the very opening scene, he's a little kid, and we know it's him. But then we jump ahead 10 years, and now we don't necessarily know who he is. And that's sort of the mystery that plays out. And that's why the cast list is a little tricky, because you find out along the way who he is.
Yeah, because I was going through it, I was like, well, that's not his name. That's not his name. So yeah,
that sounds really good though. I like that. Like I said, instead of the whole mentally retarded, I'm just going to do as I'm told, not knowing what's going on. Like you said, he has control over himself some, but then he gets, mentally somehow changed. But
exactly.
Well, okay, so in this, it says, I'm just reading off of the IMDb. I'm not trying to give nothing away or trying to pull anything out from you. But, like, it says that do all of them kidnap the nurse? Can I ask that, or?
It's.
They'd have to, right? So, that's kind of a dumb question. It's
kind of one of those situations where it just kind of happens, where it all comes together, and like there's a group of them, and they realize they might stop and ask questions instead of just shooting us if this nurse is along. But not everybody in the group is, as hateful towards her as others.
Yeah. Okay. And what kind of mindset, like, this isn't your first horror film to write, because you wrote Black Mass, the horror short film?
Yes.
I haven't got to see that, unfortunately. Is that on YouTube?
I haven't either. It's an Oculus short, so unless you have an Oculus headset, it's hard to come by.
Johnny, you got one?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that tonight.
Yeah, we both got the Samsung VR, so I guess.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Oh, well, let me know how it is.
What, you haven't even. That's crazy.
Hey, you're going to have them send you an Oculus or something.
Yeah.
Tell them to send you an Oculus. They're more expensive.
Right.
Okay, well, like, do you have a certain mindset when you go into writing horror, or does it just come natural?
I mean, I'm a fan of genre, and most genres, sci-fi and horror the most. And, you know, I think the thing that I first was known for were a couple horror scripts that I had optioned, and that ultimately didn't get made. But once you start in Hollywood, once you start down one little path, and that's where the job offers start coming. So that's, it's like I was invited to pitch on Leatherface, but I was also invited to pitch on, like, Friday the 13th and Halloween and Pinhead and Freddy. Like, they're all getting their treatment. So most of the jobs that I've gotten since then have been horror, and I'm fine with that. I love horror. Grew up as a horror fiend, so right now I'm totally happy with that being it. I don't treat it. To me, my particular writing style, I like to think this is why I got the job, is that I want to write character stories, but then I hide them inside various genres. So it's like Leatherface is very much, a character-based story. I meet with people all the time who've read it, and they're like, somebody had to tell me to read this. I didn't want to, but then I did, and I was pleasantly surprised. Because I'm writing a character story, but then I'm hiding it inside of a horror movie with all the various, tropes and things that you need in a horror movie, the things that you want and expect and like if you're a horror fan. So for me, it's always about the character first, and then, playing to the genre and having fun with it, but still making sure that, like, under the surface, it's still about a character and not necessarily just about lining up kills and jump scares.
So this is it coming out around Halloween or something this year?
That's what I've heard. I'm not fully in the loop, but it was announced by the producer a month or so ago that it's definitely coming out in October. Whether that's theatrical or if it's going directly to VOD, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was curious of, if it was going to get a theatrical release around Halloween. Which you would think that it'd be if it was going to do anything, that would be the time to release it and try to get it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can get a screener.
Yeah. But from what it seems like, we were watching, people talking about it on the internet. And I think it's going to be an uphill battle because, like, I don't know if they just don't understand, that if they haven't heard any interviews from you or know where you're coming from with the story, they just see it as, it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 8. It's the story's, done too much.
Yeah, and I get a lot of lovely hate mail from people who think, who are saying, like, why are you doing this? Leatherface is scary because you don't know, like, you're gonna destroy the mystique by doing this, which I get. I can't dispute that if that's somebody's point of view, and I don't usually respond to those things. But it's not like I had this idea in a vacuum. This movie was getting made. I can list you off movies that I think shouldn't be remade, sequeled, or rebooted or anything. But if they said to me, "Do you want to do it?" I'd be like, "Well, obviously."
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't think there should be a new Blade Runner movie. But if they'd called me and said, "Hey, do you want to make a new Blade Runner movie?" I'd be like, "Well, obviously, yeah. I'm the only person who could do it."
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm the only one. Trust me. But I can see though, like, if you wouldn't have done it, then it would have been, like you said, what everybody else would have done. So it would have been the classic, he's mentally slow. And you've taken a different take on it, so...
Right, which some people won't like, and some people feel jerked around, and some people will, hopefully like it. I think that it has the DNA of it is a chainsaw movie. There's the element of a road trip. There's the element of, like, sort of being lost in the Texas wasteland. There's this, the idea of family is pervasive throughout, and then there's messed up, disturbing kills, and
Yeah, of course.
I wrote plenty, and I know the directors added more, so and cinema and visually it's different. I mean, it's going to look like, because these guys are from the French New Wave. They're like, it looks like an art house movie. It looks like Badlands with gore, which is I think is awesome.
So, since you said you wrote many kills in there, what's the worst one that you could tell us about?
Oh, the worst one.
I'm messing. I don't want you to get.
It's hard to say, but I think like the kill that results in the first mask is my particular favorite.
Oh, cool. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to this, especially now with the way that you described the story. Because like I was sitting there thinking the same thing. It's like, damn, this number 8.
Well, technically, like I mean, Chainsaw continuity has always been kind of fast and loose. At this point, where all I did was I was just told to dovetail into the original, and there is a little bit of service paid to some of the characters established in Chainsaw 3D just because it's the same producers.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily. I don't feed into that story too much. There's just a couple characters that are from that one that show up in this one, but plot-wise, it's its own thing. And I was really only thinking about the original.
What about effects? Are they using practical effects on this movie?
Yes.
Okay, good, because CGI, I'm telling you, has ruined so many good, many horror films.
Like Alien.
I'm sick of CGI.
Like the new Alien movie,
I think
they killed Alien on that one.
Yeah, no, the directors were very, very pro practical. I mean, I don't want to say I don't think there's any movie that doesn't have a little bit of CGI.
Yeah, well, that's understandable.
But there's no like there's squibs everywhere. There's people covered in fake blood. There's a giant. I know for a fact that they spent a lot of money making a very realistic giant like cow carcass. There's
cool.
like they like the visceral quality of it. So there's definitely practical effects throughout.
Yeah, cause that's good news because I mean I'm not saying of course CGI is going to be used in films nowadays. You got to. I mean on some parts, but the parts that you can make a practical effect, do it because I think it makes a film better.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, it just makes it more enjoyable to watch because it's just like this is horror. I don't want to see somebody's fake head get smashed.
And you'll get more. I think you'll get more of a genuine reaction out of the actor if they're actually seeing it in person instead of having to think about it. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, they covered these poor kids, these actors. I mean, like I've got a few on-set pictures, and they were just covered head to toe in gore and muck. I mean,
they say blood's rough.
Sticky as hell, ain't it?
K-Rose syrup or whatever they use in it. I don't know. They say that's just rough. Stain your clothes, everything.
Should have pranked them and blew feathers all over my
You got blood and feathers instead of that'd be fucked up.
Yeah.
Bloody chicken running
just throw sand all over and just fuck it.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be
so I guess, did you not get to fly out there or anything?
No, I was actually on, the timing of it was off. Well, two things. One, I mean, I just did too good of a job that they didn't need any on-set revisions.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
There you go.
You should have fucked up a little bit so you can get flown over there.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know they made some. They did some alterations. I mean, that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Once you're on set, they're going to try alternate takes for lines. The actors are going to sort of ad lib, and I've directed a handful of things to know that when I'm sitting there writing it, I think to myself, well, this is it. I mean, obviously it has to be done this way. And then I get on set, and all it takes is a look from an actor, and you realize you can cut half a page of dialogue because the actor carried the point you were trying to make with, just emoting in the right way. So it's never a direct translation, but they didn't need me there because they were confident enough that the story was on the page. They weren't going to miss anything.
Oh, hell yeah, that's.
Well, as long as they send you, like you said, set photos, that would be.
See what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a couple. I showed a couple before and then got in trouble for showing them, so I can't do that again.
You showed something you didn't want shown. That's good.
What was that?
I said you showed something they didn't want shown. They're over there yelling at
you. I get there was a while there where nothing was happening. It was dead, and I was really just trying to get people talking about it. So I was trying a little bit of a grassroots operation, and just sort of trolling my way through Bloody Disgusting, occasionally, like, putting some pictures up. And mentioned Lionsgate, told me to knock it off. So.
That's funny.
So this is I guess Lionsgate owns the rights, don't they?
They own. The IP is owned by Carl. I'm going to say his name wrong. He's one of the producers. Mazzacchione. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name.
Yeah.
He technically owns the IP, and he shares with Lionsgate the distribution rights. And then Millennium basically was the studio that like pitched and bought their way into actually making the film.
Oh hell yeah!
Well, definitely looking forward to it. Hopefully, we can get a screener so we can do a review on it.
Yeah, I'd love to get a screener too. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, imagine.
You would think they would send you one. You did,
well,
right?
But he leaks out photos, so why would they send him a screener? I don't know. Can he be trusted?
They can't trust me.
They're gonna tell him to fly somewhere or fly to Bulgaria or whatever, and you can watch it here.
They'll put you in a black room. Just this ain't
leaving.
I
saw a rough cut about a little over a year ago that I liked quite a bit.
That's
so
cool.
Hopefully, they haven't deviated too far from that, and if it was there. It was there was definitely it felt right to me.
How long ago was it shot?
Ooh, I want to say I think it's been in the can for a couple years. It started shooting. God, I'm trying to figure. I'm not quite sure. I have to look at a calendar, but it's been confused for a while. And basically, I don't want to speak out of turn, but Lionsgate was doing stuff, does stuff in the horror space frequently, and my personal theory is that something else did not perform, and they got kind of scared, and basically, not scared, but just, didn't want to spend money if they didn't know they were going to make it back, because unfortunately it always kind of comes down to money.
Well, the problem is they're taking these indie horror short films, making big movies out of them, and then they ruin what it could be by making a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, I mean...
That happens a lot. No, that definitely happens. And then you also have, you have indie horror movies that are made for so little, then make for so much, and then they want to know why, why can't you do that? I don't know how many, Wingard got lucky in that, he started small and they let him do some bigger things, but I know, I'm trying to think of his name now, I'm terrible. There's that movie called Tangerine, not a horror movie, but it was shot on an iPhone, and it's a beautiful looking movie and it's great. And the director basically now he just gets studios coming to him and say, hey, make us an iPhone movie. Shit. And he's like, no, I could make a multi-million-dollar movie. Clearly I know how to do this. But they don't want to spend that money. So unfortunately, the money question causes it a lot of trouble. They also tested Leatherface in LA, but off in some corner of the valley, and I don't know if that was a great audience to test it with.
Why not?
So that sometimes can sort of skew expectations.
The best way. Sorry, go ahead.
Just that something shifted. At some point, they realized that there's enough interest in that they could finish it and put it out and be confident about it.
But you can't put it in front of horror fans, extreme horror fans, and you can't put it in front of people that don't like horror movies. You got to get the middle of the road people to come in and watch a film.
For testing, yeah.
I mean, you really got to get somebody that's just middle of the road. Because Jim was like, "Why did they do that for you?" I know. I see the look on his face, and I'm explaining this.
I was about to say that. Hell, you got a perfect audience. Just take it to a damn convention, a horror convention.
I mean, I'd love it if that were the case. If some good horror conventions were treated like Sundance or Cannes, where indie movies could be seen and studios would buy them, or at least if the studio has a product, they can get a legit reaction to it.
Yeah.
Because last week, Death House premiered at a convention.
Oh, they got good reviews.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. So, what are you working on now, Seth?
Right now, I'm working on a movie called Hellfest, which is basically about it's about a haunted theme park. Halloween time, smaller regional theme parks will sort of switch over to do a haunted experience, and in LA, Universal Studios in LA, we do they do the Halloween Horror Nights where everything's spooky. You have monsters kind of roaming around the park to scare people. You have, 10, 12 haunted house mazes like spread out throughout the park. So it's just like basically just for October, these theme parks turn into these just totally haunted experiences. So it's about a place like that, but there just so happens to be a real slasher hiding amongst all the fake slashers. So it's a constant sort of like game of like, is this real, or is this like, or am I being pranked, or is this actually like somebody being murdered? And it's a great team. It's CBS Studios is the film. Production company is Valhalla, which is Gail Ann Hurd's company of Gail Ann Hurd of Walking Dead and Aliens, and James Cameron's first half of his career. Like, she produced everything he did. So she's a producer. She's great. And we were developing it with Jennifer Lynch, David Lynch's daughter, as a director for a while, but then scheduling conflicts, she had to bow out, but she still helped develop everything. And now the current director is Greg Plotkin, who directed the last Paranormal Activity movie, but more recently was the editor for Jordan Peele on Get Out.
Oh, wow. That Get Out movie got...
Yeah, that kind of broke the mold.
I wish I could have got to the theaters and watched that movie. The scheduling didn't work out. Gosh, I wanted to go see that movie so bad.
It was an interesting theater experience because there was so much social relevance to it. Like, I think I was in Portland when I went and saw it. And Portland's a very liberal town, and the audience was just all middle-aged. Like, I took my mom, so it was like, it was like all middle-aged white people who were very like liberal and socially conscious because they knew this was like an important movie, but none of them were horror fans. So even the littlest jump scare like just got
awesome.
So it's so fun to watch.
That's like the best thing. Oh man.
Yeah.
I just followed you on your Twitter. Are you active on there pretty good?
I try to be. Sometimes I forget it's there, but I try to be. Sometimes I start talking to just friends and nobody knows what I'm talking about, but I try to be, and I try to keep up on my what I have going on.
Okay, because I was going to say, I just followed you before we called you, and I'd like to keep up on this, the new movie.
Yeah.
And we'll help promote like crazy. That's what we do, promote.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I actually literally, I'm having this phone call from my grandma's house. I'm on vacation in Washington, but right before I left, I turned in the last draft. So sweet. I think we're gonna start looking to shoot this fall. I think we're gonna find a theme park that's already kind of done a Halloween thing, and before they break it down for their Christmas thing, we get in there and get some good footage and scope of it, and then do the rest on a stage. So hopefully if we shoot this fall, we can aim for Halloween next year.
Oh, yeah.
And, hopefully not compete with Michael Myers. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that's coming out. Hey, just throw it out there. Nashville Nightmare is a perfect place to film.
And that's what.
You know what? Because as many sets as they got inside that, and they got 4 different haunts. So I was just throwing it out there.
Where's that one at exactly?
It's in Nashville, Tennessee.
But they
okay.
But he wants an amusement park, right?
We're gonna hit like, I think the director and I were gonna try and hit a few of them this year, just to, make sure we got make sure we can write it off as a business expense to go to as many haunted attractions as we possibly can.
Well, Nashville last year got the #1 haunt in the nation.
USA.
Oh, awesome!
The USA Today.
Yeah, so they beat Netherworld, so that was a big.
At least on USA Today's poll, they did. So.
Yeah, so yeah.
But they're in the top 10 around the nation, no matter what. Because you know how them polls go.
So if you can make it to Nashville, definitely check that one out because they got tons of stuff in there to make a movie. It'd be perfect. Movie set already there waiting.
Yeah.
If they can afford I'm down.
He's looking for an amusement park though that changes into a haunted attraction.
No, it's definitely right? We want theme, but we definitely want bigger theme park, not like Carney.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So they're just talking about
like
a haunted
you
house.
said, you can always go check it out just for scouting purposes.
Absolutely.
Well, man, Seth, I really appreciate you coming on and.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you for taking time out of your vacation to talk to us.
Oh, no, sure, it's okay. I'm just, I'm just taking a break from eating more of Grandma's food, so I needed to take a break.
Grandma's foods. I don't blame.
We really look forward to seeing Leatherface and
hopefully keep in touch.
Yeah, well.
Great, absolutely. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, well, you have a good rest of your vacation, and we'll keep in touch.
Great. Have a good one. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, see ya.
Have a good one, Seth.
See ya.
All right, guys. So, Seth Sherwood, writer of Leatherface, the screenplay, at least, the writer, and that's a different take than I thought he was going to do, so
yeah.
I'm actually glad to hear that.
Hell yeah. Well, and then, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to Hellfast.
Yeah, for sure. That seems interesting, too, so, I mean, hopefully this Leatherface deal works out. I'm hoping it works out.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to watch it regardless, hopefully.
Yeah, me too.
Like we was telling him, hopefully get a screener and throw a review up.
Oh, for sure. Or even if don't get a screener, I'm gonna watch it because the story sounds really good, and I'm interested to see how it turns out. Like as far as like the mystery.
Yeah, that, and I mean, I'm really curious to see how it turned out filming in a whole nother country.
Yeah, to see compare, that would be good.
Fuck yeah! So
that's interesting. I agree.
Hell yeah! So well, we ain't got much longer till we got what, about 2.5 months
until haunts start opening.
Yep. So
beginning of September.
Hey, y'all check out. I'll put the haunt page in here. I've updated it a little bit. One thing we're looking forward to the most, I am anyways. Priest Lake Haunted Woods is opening up this year, a part of Nashville Nightmare.
Yeah. Which we talked.
It's like a branching off of So I'll link the interview with Carol Moore, which is, I guess he's the one running.
Yeah, Priest
Lake. So that'll be in the description. Check it out. And haunt season coming up. Check our page out. We'll have as we get done with haunts, we'll have reviews up. So check us out.
Yes, for sure. Because you know how we do haunt season. And I hope that you guys live somewhere cooler than we do when it's the beginning of September.
Yeah, because haunt season is brutal here.
Yeah,
lately,
this freaking damn. I remember back in October, get to the endo to be cool. Not so much anymore.
It's like the damn equator is moving up on us.
Yeah. It's global warming. Oh, yeah. That's good. No, anyways. So, guys, just don't forget, follow us on all the social medias. All of them. There's no point naming them. There's fucking all of them.
Everyone you can think of.
10 horror news. Yeah.
You think I should start putting it in the description?
I don't know, maybe.
Well.
Anyways, follow us on that. Look at our Patreon. See if you might want to donate $1 a month, if you like the content. And plus, it's not just for this podcast. The Patreon's not just for the podcast. It does help out with the website fees and everything. I mean, it's a total, it's not just the podcast thing. It's for everything.
Hoping to get more Patreon so we can eventually move into video.
Yeah.
Because we have to purchase a camera.
Yeah.
Which, if you want to help out with that, hell, if you got a camera you want to donate.
Yeah, digital camera, DSLR, what is it?
Yeah, one we can plug our mics into.
Yeah.
Well, not even that, I just have to up my game on editing.
But anyways, we'll stop asking for handouts.
We're not asking for handouts, we're asking for help.
Oh, yeah.
Be a part of it.
Be a part of the show.
Yeah, you Patreon, you're a part of the show. If you donate enough, you can be
on the show.
A guest host.
Ooh.
Hey, and like we've been getting lately, we've been getting a lot of big celebrities on here, so
you can ask us. Hey, and also though, if people are still listening now, if we put up like, hey, we're talking to so and so, if you want a question asked, shoot it to us. We'll ask that question.
No, we're gonna put that on Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're all the Patrons, we'll have the Patrons where they can.
Yeah. Shoot a question to us.
Yeah. You can ask a celebrity question.
Yeah.
All right, well.
We'll shout out your name when we ask.
We'll start. That's all we got.
Peace.
That's it.
No.
Yeah.